was any.
Okay, so again,
It's over 12 months since I actually listened.
So we're back in Bill's shack here.
Mode.
It's the Friday the 13th of December 2013.
To AM because it will be quicker tuning. We want 144370.
Right, so we're going to try and pick up meteor scatter radio transmissions this time. We've just been doing meteor scatter detection of meteors from Graves radar on 143.049.
370.
So the 370, Bill, is that a sort of generally agreed frequency?
That's the calling frequency, yeah. And they usually QSY from there, of course. Like any mode, they have a calling frequency. Right, and then the
So what's the mode again that they use? It's on special digital mode, isn't it?
FSK 441.
Right. So as I understand it, Damien, the whole point about this is...
I'm going now to upper sideband.
Right,
now,
okay.
Because you can alter the tuning steps on here.
Yeah.
I'm tuning now from 375 down to 370.
Okay.
Right.
So, am I right in saying that what actually is happening here is the computer is just compressing the data into a very short time period? Is that right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And when people use the internet to define the time so that they're not listening and transmitting at the same time as other people are listening and transmitting.
Yeah. Everybody in the UK will be I don't know if it's on the odd 30 seconds or the even 30 seconds, but you transmit for 30 seconds and receive for 30 seconds.
Okay.
Well, not having ever done it. And I would say, well, at the moment there's nothing there, is there?
So we're now waiting for meteor.
Yeah. No, that must have been electrical.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting point, that we're picking the meters up on 143.049. Of course, the 143.049 we're listening at before is just a carrier frequency that's coming out of Graves radar station.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why people can't actually bounce signals at other frequencies off that particular...
Yeah, but they can't transmit on that frequency, of course, can they?
Well, no, because they'd hit the carrier, wouldn't they?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's illegal, isn't it? It ain't an amateur band. You couldn't transmit down there. Be good if you could. Be good if you could. You'd have that radar signal helping you, wouldn't you?
Would it?
I would think so. Yeah. Why ain't we receiving meteors now?
Well, because there's nothing being transmitted on it. Unless you've got anything to bounce off it.
Nothing to reflect it. Exactly. That radar must be reflecting them meteors.
Well, no, the meteors must be there because we're picking them up. So the radar signal's being bounced off the meteors. But if no one's actually transmitting a signal on this frequency, then we're not going to pick it up. Cause
no, of course not. Oh, no. No. That's what I say, you know. There's got to be activity. You'd say, Damien's probably thinking, this meteor scatter don't work. Only because nobody's...
Well, we've proven the meteor scatter works. Just now, he's seen loads of meters.
But radio amps transmitting using them, how I've just said.
Oh, wait a minute, what's this?
Well...
Yes, look, 7G, 3W...
No, that was when I was tuning before. When I was tuning through, it would try to decode something.
Right.
No.
Oh well.
So nobody seems to be doing it at the moment.
Not at the minute, no.
And this would be the main frequency that they would use?
Yeah, this is the calling frequency. In fact, I mean, you want that 6 metre handbook, Andy. It's ever so good. It's full of useful stuff. A lot of stuff on this mode, of course. Yeah. And what people tend to do, they'd call CQ, for example, 385. CQ 385. That means they're transmitting on here, but their information, what they would put in here, is CQ 385. That means they're transmitting on this calling frequency, but they're listening on 385, not 370. So that they QSY off that frequency and call them on 385, like you would say you were calling on 2 metres. I mean, you haven't done that much listening really, but you'll hear people calling, particularly on sideband if conditions are good.
Yeah.
And the calling frequency, I think, is 144,300 on sideband, and they'll say CQ 2 metres, listening on say 250. Right, so somebody will call them not on the calling frequency but on the QSY frequency. Makes sense? And they do exactly the same on this.
Yeah, they'll move across to a different frequency. Out the way.
So that they're not hogging the calling frequency.
Okay.
But there's nobody on. It's clear, isn't it?
Yeah, at the moment, looks like it. Okay. So shall we try changing over to the smaller aerial, see if it's still successful?
Go back down here. Again, I'm going to go to AM, look.
Yeah.
Because it's quicker tuning.
Okay.
Here we go, don't go to AM.
I think it just goes to prove that it doesn't really matter what sort of kit you got, how big or whatever. It's a question of how good the quality is, and it's just high quality.
049. Well,
this is.
You want something sensitive, and you want a decent aerial. You're talking of low signal strength.
No, I know a man who's made me a decent aerial.
Flash will get you everywhere.
He has. He's made me one. The bigger problem is I've got to buy some of that stuff there. Do you see this? This is RG213.
Yeah,
that's expensive.
You've got to have low loss stuff.
It's always the way.
You've got to have low loss. You can't have cheap.
So it's another 500 or 600 pound then.
Don't know. But bear in mind, we spent $2,000 on getting the observatory up and weren't running.
143.
Haven't said you've got it now for life, unless you decide to move.
Let's get rid of this.
But I've got some kit. If I isn't necessarily gonna cost me anything, because I've got some kit to get rid of as well.
Straight away.
It's sort of foggy.
So that one, for example, what's the advantage of that? Is it's actually a transmitter as well.
Transceiver.
So yes, it's transceiver. So it's transmission and reception. So you can see we're now picking up the big thing at the bottom is wasted time, because that's just the thing.
But on the top, disappear then for a bit. It'll just confuse you.
Yeah.
But on the there you are. It's gone now. So you can see those 2 meteors there, together with the lightning strike. So we're back there now. So we're now back onto 143.049.
Trying to see if you can actually see them.